What's going on YouTube? Welcome to a new video. Join me here for a Friday close grip workout. So basically I've transitioned almost completely over just to lifting at the new gym. I still have the membership at the other, but better machines, better equipment, stronger people here, and honestly I've preached about it time and time again, but gym environment super important, and I can train anywhere. You could lock me in a freaking Iron Man facility, whatever the heck was happening in that first movie, and I'll train and I'll make progress. That's what my foundation was before. Spent most of my time training in the basement, just me, and making progress with no frame of reference. But now that we're adults and we have money and stuff, we can go out and train wherever you want. And, we had the golden age of YouTube in early 2010s with all the different YouTubers, but a lot of the gyms were commercial and people just trying to figure stuff out. Now we've got gyms like this where, you can essentially do whatever you want to do, and it's a good amount of time or whatever past that. So we've kind of left that period behind, but the legacy will always be these gyms where we've got more serious stuff. Years ago, you wouldn't see this rogue bench. You wouldn't see a lot of the equipment you see here. So kind of finally blending all those worlds together, and I'm happy because I've always done both. I think most of us start off bodybuilding. We're usually in the gym trying to look good, get strong, and then we kind of dabble into the whole powerlifting stuff, especially as a natty lifter. So that's what we've done. I've built my foundation on those, and everything else derives from those original strength-related movements, which have put on a good amount of size. So in this day and age, there's no excuse for any gym to have a lack of equipment. There's so many different manufacturers. There's so many different ways to get stuff. You've got people making stuff in their garage. It's just, there's no excuse. And so if you have gyms that are inadequate, hey, that's the nature of the market. They should straight up go under if they can't service the people that want to use them. So that might be harsh for some people to hear, but that's just the way it is. Now there's a higher standard of quality that we want, and it's going to be on us to kind of make sure that those places stay. So when a gym like this opens up, I'm swinging through, I'm staying there, I'm training, and I'm going to spend most of my time here. So a little bit of a rant there with the current state of things, but yeah, cracks start to show when times aren't good, and I think the places that do reward their clientele, take care of them, will be able to survive a little bit better. And so, again, I'm a simple person. I don't need much. The little extras are nice, but yeah, I'm really liking it here, and I think most people will stay here long term and like it here as well too. Just doing a lot of pressing here. So on my close grip days, I usually do a flat bench. I like doing multiple sets of pressing. So dumbbells for range of motion, balance, things like that. And then earlier in the week, when we start off on Monday, we're usually doing the incline version of this, right? So we'll hitch that up to 15 to 20 degrees and go from there. Or actually, I think 30. I don't know. Some of the benches are marked, some aren't. I just know relatively where I'm at, and wasn't very good at math, so I don't have a protractor on me. But anyway, just a lot of pressing, being well-rounded, taking things through the full range of motion, making sure that we're doing the best we can to prevent injury. And incline fly here, I'm really liking this machine. I've mentioned it in previous other videos where dumbbells become clumsy, they bump into each other. Cables, I like them, but I'm doing them earlier in the week. And there is a flat version of this. I'm just too thick to fit underneath it. My torso is so large, I can't get my arms underneath the pads. It's actually to the right of this, which is actually really funny. But yeah, I tried. I can't get underneath it. Otherwise, I'd alternate both of these because I feel like there's a little bit better contraction than the cables where you can, manipulate range of motion a little bit more. This kind of locks you in. But just doing this slow and controlled, and the pump is really nice. It's a little weird when you first do it to kind of sit there in the forearms, but it's fine. Moving on to lower body here. So this is usually my Saturday. And then once again, SSB. We're always starting off with some sort of powerlifting compound movement. And for me, it's been the SSB, and we just change the settings. And that's basically what you're going to get out of here. So, either high bar, low bar, or SSB, something like that is generally what I'm trying to do. So ultimately, it just depends on what your goals are, and there's machines in back where you can target more upright, more bent over, stuff like that. But the foundation is this, and everything else is added on extra. If you do the work, Free weight stuff, you're going to be in a better position. Machines vary from gym to gym. The weights that you use vary, the stress, the mechanical tension, whatever you're using. It's cool to have stuff and to find things that work for you, though. But for me, give me the basic stuff and I'll figure everything else out. So for me, do what I got to do first. That means the squat, the deadlift, the presses, and then we'll move on to other stuff. So again, my training style hasn't changed much and it's worked pretty darn well. And strength carries over from free weight stuff to machines very easily. And I think honestly, it is, the best way for most people to train. Like I said before in other videos, when it comes to maturity and density, you can tell when someone lifts free weights. You can tell when someone lifts on machines primarily. And you'll see people transition. But honestly, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to train how I want to train. And like I mentioned before in other videos, the presence of machines basically dilutes people from the squat racks, which means they're usually open for me. And this bar. I think most people are intimidated by this bar. And that's totally fine. I figured it out. That means it's always ready for me to use it. And there's been an occasion or two where I will come in and someone's using both the rack and the bar, but it's fine. I'll wait. I've got no problem waiting. A gym like this where, it's really good at moving traffic along. There's people in multiple gyms. And then I started to have noticed there are people that never show up to the leg gym, which is funny because a lot of them are upper body guys. And I think I'm in the lower body gym 2 times a week and the upper body 3 times. So I'll destroy my legs, do my heavy lifting compounds. But a lot of the upper body stuff, like when you're separating chest, shoulders, back, and stuff like that, it really changes, your recovery time. Upper body, you can definitely recover better from. Working on deadlifts here, and I've found I like deadlifting on the flat floor. It's just more fun. The deadlift platforms tend to take a beating, and they're made out of wood, so each and every subsequent rep where you're returning the weight to the ground kind of shifts them around and can dig into them, create like little divots in them where the bar isn't even. And I did do these beltless. They were feeling good. With my deadlifts, I may transition back to going beltless. I'm just not having a good time with the belt since I started incorporating them after the injury. So, I don't know. I do need to lose. I do need to get leaner, though. Look at that belly. And I think that's the problem with the deadlift, though, is when that body fat is a little bit high, it shifts your leverages a little bit forward. So like for me, the lockout's always going to be hardest. And if you can see from where I'm deadlifting, my stomach and torso is in contact with my lower body until that lockout point, and then that's where the struggle comes. So I need to find a way to alleviate that. And I think if I just can wear the belt a little bit tighter and lock myself in better, I just need to, diet a little bit and recomp there. Belt squat here and just kind of working up. Again, I haven't really found a way to accentuate range of motion better. But, it is what it is. It's not meant to do like a ATG squat on here. There's just, the mechanics don't work on it. You could put like plates or something, which I may do. I've also got the Oli lifting shoes. But I've had to put the plates on here just because the mechanism that you're hooking into touches the floor after a certain point, so even then you're kind of limited on range of motion. But as long as you're getting to that, compression where the hamstring and glute are where they're at in this video, then you're pretty much fine. You can always do other quad exercises. You could also move the connection point further up, so the machine is essentially pulling you forward, and then you'll get more of a quad bump. You could also take your hands off, which I've got terrible balance, so I'm just kind of doing what works for me. Again, I've done the hard work already. I've done the deadlifts. I've done the squats. This is mainly for me to get extra movement and extra time under tension with the actual squat movement, while kind of incorporating that kind of concentration, isolation type of movement where you can get that pump going. We're doing high reps, I think 10 to 12, something like that. I don't know. And then just moving weight more and more. And you can kind of see we're emulating my squat form, which is good. The more repetitions you do with a certain movement, the more it becomes ingrained and natural to you. So work on that, and it all carries over. So when the next week comes around, or the next time I hit legs with the free weight bar, that motion is ingrained in there. It's easier to hit depth. It's easier to sink down, and just works in conjunction with everything else to just make you stronger and a better lifter there as well too. So you got to make do with what you got, change stuff around, And again, like I said, I really like this ham curl. The single action helps that unilateral movement just to kind of balance out any sort of inconsistencies. And we've all got them. I can literally feel the difficulty in one leg versus the other, but for the sake of keeping things balanced, I'm definitely doing the same weight and trying to make them consistent. We're all going to favor one side, whether it's arms or legs or whatever. There's always going to be one side that's just going to suffer more. Time under tension and work, whether you're right-handed, left-handed, you're going to have a preference for size, or even ambidextrous. You can only do one at one time, so something's going to take over unless you're a savant or something and you can count exactly the amount of times that you're doing each task and then balancing it out. But same thing for leg extension. I really like this machine. It puts your shin, your foot in a good position to get a nice contraction. I mentioned before in other videos that imbalance from other machines is with a singular pad is a little annoying, because you could just theoretically lower the weight, center your foot, and then just do leg extensions in another machine, another position. But the way this works, it just puts the right tension, and it's a leg extension, right? We've already done the heavy work. This is just to kind of cap things off and work on things there too. So shouldn't be your primary leg movement, and that's going to be controversial to some people. But put in the work, do the work, recover, and that's the secret to the game here. So thanks for watching. Take a look at the logs. More to come. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching the latest video. If you want to help support the channel, I actually own my own wet shaving and grooming e-commerce website where everything's handmade by me. It's www.apexsoaps.com, and you can get a 10% off code using wet shaver. We've got some cool scents here. We've got some Coca-Cola scents, a horchata scent, traditional barbershop, just some really cool stuff. And you can purchase samples or you can buy the whole set. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. Be quick to respond. Thanks for watching.